good, YouTube? Pictures by Schoolboy here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. So today we are going to take a look at this beauty image that I shot not long ago. We are going to take a look at how to color grade, and as you can see, I've done all the necessary adjustment and all the necessary color grading right here. So today's video is more or less like an overview. I'm going to take you guys along and explain to you how I go about my beauty images and try to give you some tips and tricks to color grade and retouch your beauty images as well. So before we get straight into the video, if you are new here to this channel, I make photography related content just like this, retouching and a whole lot. So if that's something you are interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on your post notification. All right, so as you can see, this image right here, I already have my frequency separation done. I don't really want this video to be so long, like a 20-minute video or so. That's why I'm going to take you guys along on how I went about this image rather than doing it, because it's going to take a whole lot of time. So as you can see, the first thing that I always do sorry guys, the first thing that I always do is to go and perform my frequency separation. As I always explain, I don't do dodge and burn because I currently retouch with a mouse and it's not convenient for brushing. That's why I don't use the brush tool, the mixer brush tool, for my frequency separation. I rather use the lasso tool. If I get my hands on a retouching or graphics tablet, I'm going to start retouching with the brush and a whole lot. All right, so the first thing that I did was my frequency separation, as you can see. So I made sure I did it how best I could to make the skin looks flawless as possible. So as you can see, the skin looks amazing. So right after the frequency separation, I cropped the image. So that was the second thing that I did. I cropped the image. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get you how this image looked. Oh no, I don't think. Oh, this is a PSD for this tutorial, so I don't think I can get you the before and after, but I cropped it and I started with the color grade. So as you can see, I have this folder right here, group 1. If I turn it on, this is how it looks. If I turn it off, this is how it looks. So oh shoot, all these have been turned off. All right, so let me go ahead and explain to you what I did here. What I did with the color grade, this folder group 1 is a color grade folder. So let me quickly name it color grade. So this is a color grade. I started with the gradient maps. So here is how it looked. I always color grade with gradient map anytime I want to get a perfect skin tones, because gradient maps, you are basically going to use the colors on the skin, the highlights, the midtones and the shadows, and it's going to help you get the perfect and the natural skin tones for your image. So that's what I did. The first thing that I did was to use the gradient map to color grade it, and then I brought down the opacity to 34. So as you can see, the opacity is on 34. And the next thing that I did was to go ahead and start with my selective color to add just a little bit of blues to the highlight. As you can see, there are some whites right here in the highlights, and I always love to add a little bit of cyans and blues to my white. So if I turn it on, it's not too much, but if you pay attention, you are going to see it makes the highlight pops a little bit and it add a little bit of blues to it. So the next thing that I did was to go to my hue and saturation, and then right here I added a little bit of hue +2 to the reds to add a little bit of yellows to the reds. So anytime I color grade and I find out that the skin is a little bit red, I always come here and I add just a little bit of hue. I play with the hue just a little bit to add a little bit of yellows into the skin tones to complement the reds. So that was what I did over there, and it's not something too much, but as I said earlier, if you pay attention to the skin tone, you are going to see how it transformed it. So before, after. And the next thing that I did, or the last thing that I did with the color grade, was a color balance adjustment layer. So here is how it looks, and as you can see, the opacity is on 75, so I brought it down just a little bit. I always do too much with my color balance, and then I bring down the opacity. So if I send it up to 100%, this is how we look before, after, before and after. But I thought it was a little bit too much, it wasn't to my liking, so I brought down the opacity to 75, and I think 75 looks amazing. So if I turn off the whole layer, this is what we've done before and after. Before and after, as you can see, it looks good. It looks good in my opinion. It looks fantastic. So then I move on to some little details in the picture, such as the eyes. So I ran my eyes and teeth whitening action, and this is how it looked. So I brightened the eyes just a little bit. It was too white, so I brought down as you can see, I brought down the opacity to 50%. So if I turn it all the way up to 100%, this is how it looked, and I feel it's a little bit too much, so I brought it down to 50%, and I think 50 was okay. So here is a quick before and after of that one too. And the next thing that I did was to add a little bit of sharpness to my image, and let me show you how sharp it looked. So here is how the sharpness look. Let me zoom in a little bit. As you can see, it's not so sharp. It's not overly sharpened, so I added just a little bit of sharpness, and I think I added +2 or 3. 2.7 was the radius of the sharpness, and then that was it. I added a little bit of brightness to open up the highlights just a little bit, and I think that was it. So this is how I color grade my beauty images. I got into beauty not too long ago, about a month or two ago, and I've learned so much from retouching beauty images. From shooting to retouching, I've learned a whole lot, and I've started to share it with you guys. I've started to share my journey shooting beauty and retouching beauty with you guys, so you guys are going to see how well I'm going to improve day in, day out, and I hope you guys enjoy the beauty videos too. So that will be the end of today's video. If you did like this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video, and also drop a comment down below to help the channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.